This is my first attempt at a live recording. So just to show, this is a new TopStep account I just got. As you can tell, it's just commissions is the only reason why the account is low. Well, not low, but down. It's right here. There's the balance. So essentially a new account. So let's see if I can do a little bit of work with my daughter in the area. So because there's no real significance at this moment for pre-market, I'm waiting on the opening range gap. Which at the moment is, this is a Friday close, which new week opening gap opened around that area. So, and then this one is the inversion. Nothing really to say with that, just something I guess I saw or I see. Looking at the dollar index, it should go higher. Dollar index. There's a fair value gap right here. Price revisited that area, so be nice to see it rip lower. Take this sell side, this sell side, this sell side, and there's a very big imbalance right here. Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Busy. I don't remember what this one. What was that 1 hour? It's not real significant at the moment. Actually, let me see. That's the daily inversion. Let me write it down. Have a 15-minute. So if this is an inversion fair value gap, priced, rebalanced it all the way down, trying to go higher than the fair value gap, didn't even make it to the 50%, which is a new threshold if I'm not mistaken, and it's just kind of been going around this, what is this, Friday morning, 10 in the morning. There was an instant reaction off of that daily inversion fair value gap, which is great. I think here we have a 4 hour, 4 hour fair value gap. So we do have a fair value gap in here. 1 hour. This is the part that I like to see, the sell side being purged. There's a displacement going higher, market structure shift, creates a fair value gap right here, and price kind of consolidates within it, expands higher. Easy low-hanging fruit would have been the relatively equal highs, which is down here, but as you can tell, it kept going higher and took out that buy side and eventually this buy side. So that's why I prefer the model that I have. Let's not zoom in too much. So go back to ES, 15-minute, just waiting 2 minutes to opening bell. Got about less than 30 seconds now. So opening bell is just going to tell me the opening range that I need to see, and not really to gauge anything at the moment. We'll see if buy side or sell side gets taken out. Just like here, sell side has been taken out, but 9:30 could come back to this fair value gap, even go higher, can do whatever, but there's the opening range. Open to Friday's close, expand it a little bit, opening range gap. Let's change this, and I'm gonna have a fib. Let me change this. 75 to 25, take off the 62, and I don't, did I do that right? Yeah. So it opened here to here, very low. I'm not really gonna put anything for NASDAQ at the moment. Put this back to electronic trading hours. This is a little bit distracting. So I'll leave it on the 5-minute. If price does go lower, there's a nice fair value gap right here. Using the expansion, 50%. So this is premium, this is discount, whether it wants to go up higher or significantly lower. Not too concerned about that, but discount rate is this fair value gap underneath. So let's just see what happens. Let's do this thing for NASDAQ. NASDAQ's already running. Pull up the 1 hour. So do the same thing for NASDAQ. 50%. The value gap underneath it. So the great thing is that it has enough, there's enough range in between, so it's good. So NASDAQ is just ripping lower and lower. So I don't want to zoom in yet because that will prompt me to get emotional a bit. So I'm just watching for the moment. Really, I want to see what happens at around 950. Oh, NASDAQ is ripping. ES is refusing to rip at the moment. Sure, all of them are electronic trading hours at this point. So right here, usually what I would do before I was trading is I would try to jump into this long displacement candle, this very energetic downward candle. Try to catch the trend, I guess. It always backfired, so just watching now. And at the same time, I have a 50k balance that has no loss, so I'm good to go if I don't even take a trade. I'm not too worried about it. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes. Expand it a little bit. See right here, I would have tried to short it, and then it would have backfired because of a little bit of a retracement. Now, whether it goes down or not, it doesn't really matter. But that quick move down and quick move up would have got me. So what I do like is this buy side was taken out here by the 4 a.m. London session candle on the 15-minute, creating or I'm sorry, yeah, then taking out the Friday sell side here before reaching up to a fair value gap, which it didn't close anything above it, which is still good in play. And now it's showing me its willingness to go lower. So I do like that. Actually, let me erase this one. So let me just take note of that and buy side. Literally purged. Let's change this to on a 15-minute compared to ES, it did not take out the Friday high. There's a 4 a.m. candle here, didn't even take the Sunday opening high. So ES is unwilling to break all of buy side, but at the same time not willing to go lower. Yeah. So despite NASDAQ taking out buy side, creating a fair value gap lower 50%, here's a fair value gap, premium going down to discount. Even though it did that, it's still within the new week opening gap. Just gonna take that again. New week opening gap, which is Friday close to Sunday open. It's still kind of meandering within it. Don't really like what it is showing, I guess, or doing. And ES is trying to close in that opening range gap. Yeah. So before I would attempt to take a trade, as soon as opening bell happened, which is not any of these, on the 5 minute, which is this 9:30, so I'll try to short it as much as possible. Maybe make some money, maybe not, but usually would end up being a loss. And there was nothing of significance. Orders were still essentially being settled, and I thought that was the rush and that's what I needed to get, but that's not the case anymore. Now I'm waiting for the actual setups for certain things to come into play, into the picture, and for it to make sense. So right here, this candle high, it pierced through the 75 percentile or quadrant, I guess, of the opening range gap. It's good to see. There's also a fair value gap within here, and that's just right above the fair value gap high, which is fine. The wicks do the damage, bodies tell a story. Look at that right here, this big green candle. Give it 1 minute. So I would try to short it, gone, short, and then before I know it, kind of reversed on me. And then another thing was that I would want to trade patterns, so I think this was like tweezer bottom, but obviously those things really didn't work out for me. They work for some people, but not for me. So just still watching it. Preferably just want to sit here until 9:50 and see if there's going to be anything possible. Just noticing how ES is working that opening range gap. NASDAQ is just there around the week opening gap, which at the same time ES is doing the same thing, so they're both consolidating. So if 950 is able to spool some price action, then I might be able to trade. If not, then no worries, I'm good to go. Usually if I'm not in by like 10:30, I'm not gonna trade. Just don't feel confident. So actually, let's see what dollar index is doing. So dollar didn't really go to fair value gap. I think that's the one my daughter's calling for me. So fair value gap, buy side taken out, which is internal liquidity. Let's see if it wants to rip lower for the sell side. If it does, there's usually an inversion with the indices, meaning it wants to go higher. So 75 percentile, still be worked on. The top of the opening range gap high is about to be worked on soon. Nasdaq's just chilling. So they both took out a sell side. Both took sell side out. So this is interesting right here. This fair value gap is almost an inversion fair value gap. Rip right through it. Almost use it as a support. It might actually be an inversion fair value gap, but just something to note for my future studies. See the 1 hour. If it does rip higher, here is buy side for ES. And for NASDAQ, because buy side was taken out previously, buy side will actually be sitting here. Assuming we go for that. Alright, for higher prices, and the reason for that is because of the dollar index. It looks, let's see, looks like it wants to reach lower. If it does want to reach lower, take out all the sell side down here, then we can see higher prices in the indices, but we don't know for certain. Now, a big thing, in addition to this inversion fair value gap, this price run on the 5-minute did create that fair value gap right here. Price revisited the fair value gap right here, and it could be going higher. It already has displacement. It has the, sorry, let me backtrack. Sell side was taken out from 6 in the morning. Sell side was taken out. Displacement higher, created a fair value gap. Market structure shift. It is going higher. The buys should be bullish because of the fact that we're in uncharted territory, so we don't really know until we have a number of days where price starts to go lower and lower. But at the moment, we don't have anything. We have 5 minutes left for that 9:50 time frame, where I would like to see what price will do at that time. So let me take off the 25, take off with the 0, just so it's less clutter. Kind of want to take this off. There it is. Let's do that. I'm gonna be able to see it a little bit better. So buy side was taken out here again. There's this fair value gap, or inversion fair value gap at this point. Right here. Let's make this red actually. Question mark, because I'm not for certain, but could be not. NASDAQ not really showing me much. Let's actually drop down to 1 minute. Yeah, it's not really showing me much. I'm gonna zoom out of NASDAQ because I like ES's price action so far and where we're at, 41, 49. It's only 8 candles away. We'll have to see where we enter, but because I like ES's price action, I'm going to go ahead and log out of here and log into the ES panel. Okay, logged in there. Not taking the trade per se, but just watching it. Got about 2 more minutes until 9:50. And just for situational awareness, this week we have non-farm payrolls, so Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and Friday will probably not be trading days. Friday depends. You can probably take a trade after 8:30, but I'm probably not going to be taking any trades. I want to trade Monday, Tuesday. Really, I just want to trade today, but tomorrow might be another day as well because we got news, red folder news at 10 in the morning. But we will see. Yeah, Nasdaq's not really showing me much. Put this right back on. Take the 75. So that's the wick consequent encouragement, which Nasdaq just ran right to it. It's actually already lower. ES is just there. What's the high of this? It's 4150. The high is 4150. Well, too clean. What's this one? High 4150. That's all same prices. How can that be, huh? 41. What was it? The high 51, 4150. Okay. So Nasdaq all the way down. Let's see if it closes underneath the discount or the wick consequent encouragement. That's for a 5-minute candle as well. This one about the same, but not there. So if you notice, even though the wicks did the damage, and let's say I would have had a stop loss right above this fair value gap, it would have taken me out and whatnot, but the bodies are staying within the fair value gap. So this is no longer an inversion fair value gap. Sorry, inversion fair value gap. Now it is just a fair value gap. Gonna go ahead and move this out of the way. We already revisited the top of the opening range gap. So yeah, I'm gonna just move it around. Let's move it over here. Just highlight for future, but it's not necessary at the moment. So I can get to clean up the charts a little bit for me. Okay. What's Nasdaq doing? Assuming you would trade within this area for Nasdaq, you would be okay right now. You'd be sitting pretty. You just took out the sell side. Still continue to go lower. It visited this fair value gap if that's a nice target for that reason, or you're still holding to go all the way down, but that's about it. So this is the biggest thing that I've noticed that yes, it could have worked out perfectly, you know. Buy side was taken out, displacement lower, fair value gap, boom, take an entry right here. Would have worked out nicely, but doesn't mean that the next hour or session will work out nicely for you. It might just be that first session still playing out throughout the whole time before you're able to find an entry or get into an entry. So that's why I realized I need patience, because trying to rush into something that it's still playing out from a previous session. It's almost like a recording. You have to let the recording finish before you can kind of press play on the next movie or whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm noticing here on the 5-minute gap, it did close just slightly below the consequent or the weak consequent encouragement, but not significantly. We opened right at the 298, so right at the wick consequent encouragement. It's good to see those things. And if you notice, ES, it had a low of 41.3725, which is the fair value gap low, 37.25 high here to the low of 41.3725. That's why ICT Smart Money Concepts work best with me, because you can see it. 41.3725. If you look top side, 41.3725 to the low of 41.3725, and all these two clean 41.50 levels are about to be taken out, but we'll see. Which actually, this is the crazy part. I'm just gonna leave this alone, but right now it has an inversion fair value gap behavior. I think this is still the it's still the open range gap. I don't need that anymore. So took out sell side, displacement higher. We saw market structure shift before reaching down to the first fair value gap. Still going higher, took out this buy side, which now we're in a inversion fair value gap, considering the behavior. Reached all the way down to the bottom of the fair value gap, but did not close anything below. Still kind of just meandering. We still have 51.4150 high and 51.4150 high, with these two 51.4150 highs and this one as well. So a lot of 51.4150 highs, and this is another one right here, but I'm not going to include that. NASDAQ. So it's not really doing anything yet. It's kind of consolidating in between. I'm gonna go ahead and open up. So look at that. Willingness to go lower. So I want to see if this is going to be an inversion fair value gap. Revisit this area, so let's just put an alert. It is about to take out sell side before reaching down to the sell side down here. So this one low is 656. We still have some room. We're at 773, 72. So we still have an opportunity. So not all hope is lost. But we should be taking out this buy side soon. So what I would like to see is the buy side taken out, price come down, revisit the inversion fair value gap, use it as support, get into that trade right there, 39.50, ultimately to get to 51.4925. So that's a 10 handle range, maybe a little bit less than 10, but still 10. Take that trade, and just shoot for 5 handles, because this is not the greatest price action, but it's something. Which actually, if I look at the 1 hour, technically I really shouldn't be trading this because there's nothing of significance, but I'm willing to take a trade. Uh, 15 minutes. Go ahead and take off the new week opening. You know what? New week opening gap. I'm sorry. Yeah, new week opening gap high 51.42. It's right next to 51.41.50. So all that is going to be taken out. So let's just put the limit order here. Let's see. Okay. Do 39.50. I already know how to. Let's hope I know how to use this trade 08 with Trading View. So I'm not too familiar with this. Orders F1, okay. Can I modify? Yeah, but okay. Oh, I think I just got myself out. Let's go back in. Okay. I'm gonna stop messing with that thing. So I am actually in the trade now. I don't know how to put my stop loss. 39.25. Go ahead and put my stop. I think that's the right one. I don't know. I don't know what that is. So I'm not sure what happened, but my recording kind of stopped, but it's fine. Let me put a oh no, I'm doing this all wrong. Supposed to be sell. So price reached down to the 50% mean threshold of the fair value gap, used as support. So after it rebalanced the entire fair value gap, it reached down to the 50%, which is always great. Okay, I need to take that one away. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how to put this. Stop limit. So I want to So I'm gonna do 39 or 34 and a half, but seems too low, but we'll do that. 41, I'm sorry, 51, 34. I don't know if this is what it is. I should probably do some research before this. It looks good, but I'm not too sure. Okay, let's look at what NASDAQ is doing. So it actually closed underneath the discount wick. Let's see what the dollar is doing. So it could reach up to the inversion fair value gap and take me out by dropping price all the way that low, but willing to see if it works out or not. I think it did take out the sell side here though. Oh, it did not. So the low is 763 and the low is 763. So it has that. Back. Yes. Let's go. Oh wow, that's not the cleanest price action. That is not fun at all. So there is a fair value gap here. Revisited the fair value gap there. Took out the sell side. Revisited. Went higher. Okay. So we'll see what happens. Don't like this chop that we're in right now. Just kind of going back and forth within this fair value gap. It still is following everything. Took out the sell side down there. Opening is 930. Had a fair value gap here. That could have been an entry right there, 51.3550, which I one handle away from my stop loss. Displacement higher, market structure shift. Did not create another fair value gap. Instead, it used a 5-minute inversion fair value gap in play. Revisited the entire inversion fair value gap, closed that up. Went up. It's still leaving that 51, 41, 50 levels that are way too clean there. Now it's still within the mean threshold of the fair value gap. So just kind of waiting to see. NASDAQ is dropping. Let's see what the dollar's doing. I like ES's price action at the moment, even though I do recognize that NASDAQ is showing that bearish movement. Already took out the sell side there at 10. Did not show the willingness to go higher, so it's still kind of dropping down. Took that off. Took off the fair value gap lines. This is a opening low. Took it out right there. Yes, it's just shopping around. Let's see in the next 5 minutes or so what happens. But I'm okay closing this trade out if there's no real significance, because it's just been chopping around. I think too good. Nasdaq's been dropping. Took out the sell side. No willingness to go higher. Still kind of playing out its 15-minute price action, as I mentioned earlier. So not really seeing anything crazy or anything worthwhile, that I guess might be a afternoon session trade for those who trade it, because I'm not going to be trading afternoons. Yeah. $51, $30, $50 is used often. Kind of weird. I mean, not weird, but $51, $30, $50. Pretty good to see. Interesting to see. So this is the part where I would look into trades this way and try to like fit something into the charts when it really wasn't there, which is right here. So you see it drop lower, had somewhat taken out the sell side from like 2 minutes ago. It did do a market structure shift, took out this high. It has a small small fair value gap, but that's not really an actual, like, I mean, I can't say not a tradable idea, because everything's a tradable idea at this point, but that's just not a trade that could happen, or that should be used or whatever. So, but that's what I would do before, and as you can tell, we are just in chop. Nasdaq, not really showing anything. Yes, nothing crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and get up here. Let's see if I can get out with like some what's it called? Some commissions covered, I guess. And of course, price action starts to go as soon as I put that order. We'll see what it wants to do though. Yes, oh, I'm sorry, Nasdaq. So it did jump high to cover that fair value gap. 15 minutes. Oh, still don't feel confident enough. Don't like it either way. We'll see about getting out with commissions covered still. We're back to the price that I had entered, and our sell limit's been executed. Commissions are covered, and really the commission from previous day or whatever that I was testing, whatever it was. So essentially, still break even. Not doing anything. Oh, let me eliminate these orders. I need to learn how to trade properly. There it is. So if I do, yeah, there it is. Okay. That's what I should have done. And I should actually left it like that. Yeah. Okay. Alright. That's it for today. Not doing anything. Nothing significant. Still think all this buy side will be taken out. Maybe later. Maybe not. Just not for me. Time to go back to my family. And that is it for today.